Picture this. Right now, a warehouse temperature sensor is sending data to a dashboard halfway across the world. A phone suddenly gets a notification. A cooling fan turns on automatically. All this invisible magic happens using a lightweight protocol called MQTT. Welcome to this quick explainer. In just 6 minutes, we're going to break down exactly how it works.
What is MQTT? So, MQTT stands for Message Queuing Telemetry Transport. The origin story is pretty wild. Invented in 1999 by engineers at IBM, it was originally built to monitor oil pipelines via satellite. Out there, bandwidth was tiny and absolute reliability was critical. Because of those tough early constraints, we get its core definition. MQTT is a lightweight messaging protocol designed specifically for devices with low power and low bandwidth. Today, it's the de facto standard for IoT messaging.
To put that in perspective, a 2024 survey by the Eclipse Foundation shows 56% of industrial IoT developers are using it. That is up 7% from last year alone.
Moving on to Section 2, the publish-subscribe model.
To understand this, think of it like a newsletter. You've got a central service called the broker. It's the heart of the system that receives, filters, and distributes all messages. Brokers like Mosquito, HiveMQ, or AWS IoT Core can handle thousands of simultaneous connections.
A publisher, like our warehouse sensor, is the writer of the newsletter. A subscriber, like your dashboard or phone, is the reader who signs up for topics they care about. The key here? Publishers never talk directly to subscribers. They only interact with the broker.
This complete decoupling makes the whole system incredibly scalable. Devices don't need to know each other's IP addresses, they don't even have to be online at the same time, and operations just happen in the background. Because of this, one single sensor can effortlessly update hundreds of dashboards.
Section 3. Topics. The addressing system. So, how does the broker actually know who gets what?
It uses topics. These are hierarchical address strings, using forward slashes just like a file path on your computer. A sensor publishes its data to factory/line1/machine3/vibration, and a dashboard subscribes to that exact address. Best part? They don't need to be pre-registered. They're totally flexible and created dynamically on their first use.
Subscribers can also gather massive amounts of data all at once using wildcards. A plus sign matches a single level, so you can easily get the temperature of every room. A hash sign matches multi-levels, grabbing every single piece of data from an entire factory with just one simple command.
Section 4. Quality of Service, or QoS. Now, how can we trust this system if network connections drop?
Well, MQTT gives you 3 progressive levels of guarantee. QoS 0 is at most once, a really fast fire and forget. QoS 1 is at least once, meaning it definitely gets there but might duplicate. And QoS 2 guarantees delivery exactly once, with absolutely 0 duplicates. The trick is choosing the right level. You'd use the super fast QoS 0 for frequent temperature updates, where a lost message doesn't really matter. Step up to QoS 1 for important alerts, and save the slower QoS 2 for critical commands, like remotely shutting off a valve. You're basically balancing your tolerance for data loss against battery overhead.
Section 5. MQTT versus HTTP. Let's see why MQTT beats the web's default language in the IoT space.
See, HTTP works a lot like a wasteful phone call. You ask, the server answers, and the connection completely closes. If a sensor does that every 5 seconds, it's opening and closing thousands of connections a day. That's a nightmare for a battery. MQTT, however, uses a persistent connection, pushing data proactively instead of sitting around waiting to be asked.
Because it uses tiny data packets with minimum 2-byte headers, MQTT requires up to 80% less network bandwidth. It features built-in session persistence, drastically cuts battery drain, excels on really unreliable 2G cellular links, and even automatically queues offline messages. This is exactly why it absolutely crushes HTTP for constrained devices.
Finally, Section 6. Real-world applications.
The everyday applications for this are massive. BMW uses it for reliable car-sharing connectivity. Mercedes-Benz monitors their global factory production with it. Matternet uses it to track life-saving medical transport drones in real time, and of course, it is the invisible backbone running your everyday smart home.
Right now, as we speak, billions of devices are communicating invisibly, completely transforming how our physical world connects to the digital one.
Now that you understand the mechanics behind it all, what will you build with MQTT?